Well, this year's schedule is going to be very tough, very difficult as well. It's probably not going to be the same type of difficulty as far as national ranking goes as last year's. We went into conference play with the second hardest schedule in the country last year. But I don't think we're going to be very far out of the realm of difficulty this year. There's some more games that are probably winnable on paper, yeah. But at the end of the day, we're playing the best teams in the country. And I don't know if we're going to be seeing 2 College World Series bound teams, but every team we play has a chance to win their conference and make it to a regional or a super regional. At the end of the day, we have to be able to control what we control. Go out, take care of the baseball, move runners, and we got to really focus on the small things, the details. We'll be a detail-oriented team. If we don't succeed there, it doesn't matter who we play. We have to be able to execute the fundamentals. So we are gonna have to overhaul our offensive philosophy. There were things that last year that in the last couple of years that I've had to change from a head coach perspective. We will have to play a different brand of baseball, more college style. That will require us to have more bunts, hit and runs, and being able to execute a little bit more. So our practices have revolved around that. And then, running the bases. Not necessarily, you don't have to be the fastest guy in the world to steal a base, just understanding tendencies and really kind of diving into some more advanced thought process for us to gain an edge on the bases or at the plate. And as far as pitching-wise, we have to just make sure we throw strikes. That's number one thing, is throwing strikes. We walked a ton of guys the last few years. We have to be able to pound the zone. There was a stat that was published out a couple months ago. It was something like the team that walks less than 4 guys wins like 65 or 70% of the time. And our numbers indicated that we were on the losing side of things very often because of those stats and extra bases. Well, Cittacola and DeLate will definitely be the top 2. We're moving Trevor into a starting role. He came in the beginning of the fall and said, "Coach, I want to start." And as a senior, a guy that has really competed at a high level, he's been a strike thrower, and he wants the baseball. I can't really ask for much more than that. He's looked very good. Nick has looked very good. Our third spot right now, we're still playing with some ideas. There's a very good chance of seeing somebody like a Matt Jeffrey or Matt Pushard in that third starter role. Alex McKenney is another guy we might see in there. Our philosophy is changing there too. Last year we had conference weekends. We tried to funnel through and cycle through 9 or 10 arms. This year we're gonna focus on utilizing 6 arms, 7 or 8 maybe, and we're gonna stick to our horses, roll them out, go get the job done. Give us 9 innings. You have 2 guys to piggyback each other, go finish the games. So we're kind of condensing that field, that scope of view as far as our pitching philosophy. And we've kind of gone through this. Our top 4 guys right now, it's only one weekend, but one weekend through practice, they walk 2 guys as a group, and over their 20-something innings. If we're able to go out and walk somewhere between two and 3 guys a game, we're going to be in a very good chance to win. There are a couple of guys that we think that could make a contribution in some level. Colton Carson is a guy that comes right to my name. He's from Oxford Hills High School. He played for Shane Slicer, who was a Maine grad in early '90s teams. Colton has a chance to be very good. He has to be able to just kind of understand the game of college baseball a little bit more. He has to get healthy. He had a little arm injury in the fall, but he's starting to come back well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him somewhere in that top 6. Bryant Madden's another guy, left-handed pitcher. We obviously left-handed pitching's a premium. Good strike thrower, competes very well. Other guys I wouldn't be surprised to see are guys like Jordan Glazer, Jake Reynes, Connor Goodman's done a nice job showing what's going on. Joe Stella, who is probably going to be at first base for us to start. And Johnny Cohen. We have a couple of guys that I think our depth has gotten a little bit better with this new class coming in. They may not be bringing in star power right away, but what they are going to be able to do is play the game. And that's really what we need. We need a bunch of guys execute fundamentally, play the game, grind out every at bat, and at the end of the day, if we can do that, we're going to have a good chance to win. Nick is going to come out and we're going to ask him to be our, number one, number two. But I think Nick can handle it from a mental standpoint. The big thing with those guys that they had success, it's not so much that I want them to even worry about last year, but it's just go out and play. You can't do any more than you're capable of doing. And the beauty about getting older is you typically get better. But that also requires you to have a psychological approach where I am who I am. Just because I hit 270 last year doesn't mean I'm going to hit 350. If you go out and hit 270, but you're able to create more quality at bats, and you walk a little more, you drive a couple more runs in, you've gotten better. And really just sticking to the fundamentals. And it's difficult this time, this now and different when I was playing as a college player, that there's so much out there on social media. Everybody has a get right fast tip. The reality of it is that the game hasn't changed. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a ton of diligence and perseverance. And that's the big thing I think when you see guys go from freshman to sophomore year, where they realize, hey, I don't need to change a whole lot. I just got to keep working through it, and the results will be there.
I truly believe that if you're gonna do something better, you gotta start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
What motivates us at Casilla?
I want to help our customers recycle as much as possible.
Because I care about the environment and how our company impacts our towns.
And at Casilla Organics, we find new uses for all sorts of materials.
It's hard work.
But I'm helping people every day.
And that makes me feel like part of the community.
A community I care about. So I do everything I can to sustain the resources of our environment.
Casilla, dependable, caring people, part of your community.
What makes a legacy? It takes more than bravado, more than your attitude, or the face you show to the world. Your legacy is your story. The place you carved for yourself in history, and who you helped along the way. The actions you take to earn it. The things you do even when the sun isn't around to see them. Our legacy, helping you build yours. Visit FisherPlows.com or your local dealer for more information.
What I love about preseason polls is that they're preseason. And I was actually, Coach Marsh told me this morning, we're ranked 6th. And at first I'm like, I got a little angry. And I thought to myself, it doesn't matter. And then if I go out and I actually worry about this, I am not practicing what we preach. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. It matters what we do as a team on a day in, day out basis, because everybody else is outside. If we go out and we play our game, we're going to be fine. And the conference every single year, there's just such an incredible amount of parity. The preseason polls they don't matter. They really don't matter. And I'm not even going to use this as fodder for our motivation, because if that's what it takes for us to be motivated, I got this team wrong. And I don't think that's the case. That if we're gonna come in 6th place, it's because we didn't do our jobs, not because the coaches voted on maybe being in 6th. Well, this year we've implemented optional yoga. So that's been one big thing, is really trying to mitigate injuries. The injury bug has bit us a couple times in the last 3 or 4 years, right around the time we start conference play. And I don't think it's a secret, our travel schedule, being on the plane, long bus rides, locks you up a little bit. And if we're not able to take care of our bodies going into the next day of practice, I think we see that there's a correlation there. So between that, we've implemented some additional meditation practice within that yoga. Our guys really have bought into taking care of themselves off the field. That comes into extra lifts if needed, scaling back on certain weight, And then, even pulling back on some extra work, hitting, extra bullpen work, whatever it might be, there's that fine line we have to dance. And it just comes with maturity, from the coaching staff and from the players. And just kind of learning where we're at and being able to push ourselves to that limit of being, pushing ourselves physically, but not overdoing it. So, I'm going to boil it down to what it's really, hopefully more of a life mantra. It's win everything. So simple, it sounds, almost overkill, but when you wake up in the morning, beat your alarm clock. Get up and go. And if we can make it a point where there is some urgency in life, where we do not want to ever be the second best. We want to be the best team on campus, on the baseball field academically. We want to be the best in the community. We want to be the best baseball team. If we are able to create that standard where the only thing that matters is we are abiding by the process and winning at what we need to win at, not only are we going to have an opportunity to win a lot of baseball games, but when these guys leave and they go on to their everyday life, and after they graduate or they go on a pro ball, hopefully that thought of winning at everything will carry them to a successful career, whatever they choose. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. I want to win baseball games. I want to win every game. But when people leave after 4 years, I want them to look back and say, I learned something at Maine, and I'm able to use it for the rest of my life.
When Girl Scout ingenuity meets Dunkin' coffee, you get a cup of can-do. Girl Scout cookie-inspired flavors are at Dunkin'. Try Thin Mints and Coconut Caramel today. And get a medium latte or cappuccino for $2 from 2 to 6 p.m. America runs on Dunkin'.
Take the guesswork out of creating your new kitchen or bath with help from the design professionals at Hammond Lumber Company's Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring Center. Bring in your own ideas or get inspired by Hammond's complete in-store showroom displays. Hammond's designers can show you several variations on your project with accurate 3D renderings. Hammond's design services are included when you purchase your materials from them, and of course, delivery is free within striking distance of any Hammond location statewide. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Do you know your Maine dairy farmers? Chances are we're a lot like you. We are parents, grandparents. We are small business owners. We are a part of our communities. We are your neighbors. We are undeniably dairy.
This Dunkin' latte is crazy delicious. I want to remember everything about this moment. The rich espresso, the pillowy foam.
What about me? It's just weird that I'm not in there.
Try our medium lattes and cappuccinos for $2 from 2 to 6 p.m. at Dunkin'.
I truly believe that if you're gonna do something better, you gotta start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
My name is PhilAnn Dixon. I'm a sophomore here at Maine. I'm in the nursing program and I'm on the swim and dive team, but I do diving. I must have been less than 2, and we go skiing in Vermont, and we were at our neighbor's house and my dad just was standing, had his hand out, and I started climbing up his arm, and the neighbors were like, you should put her in gymnastics. And he was actually looking to put me in skiing. So we went home and then they put me in gymnastics. I did things with my mom, and then I started on the team when I was really young, kindergarten or 1st grade. And then I went into the USAG program and I just fell in love with it. I just love it. And I think I was in 3rd grade and I broke my ankle and I actually stopped gymnastics. And that's when I picked up diving. It corresponds pretty similar. It's difficult because diving is a lot of like, it's not as much power as gymnastics is. So anything you do on the floor, you're like pressing up into it. Diving is mostly with your arms actually, and like your calves when you push down onto it. So just everything, take off. You don't like to arch your back in diving, but gymnastics, that's what you do. So it definitely is hard, but it helps a lot just because my air awareness from gymnastics has carried over. I'm way more terrified of like diving than gymnastics. I'll fall on floor on the beam and it's not as scary as falling from the board, you know, and then you get to the 3 meter diving board and then you're falling a full story. It's a big mental game too. So you just really have to be into it. During competition, I try and just block everything out. So it's like, I've done it before a million times. I can get up and just do it again. Like I just have to do it one more time and then I get up, but that's on the 1 meter. 1 meter is easier to like calm down, but once I get up to 3 meter, it's kind of scary because you mess up like one little thing, my hand slips off my leg and then it's like the end. Then you can smack and stuff. And I've smacked quite a few times on 3 meters, so it is really scary, especially to get back up and do that dive again. That's the tricky part. I really wanted to do well. That's what I had in my head the whole time. I wanted to do well because I didn't want to like leave the season not having like best score. And the best in-season score I had was from last year when I got the record. So I was like, I can't go into champs not hitting my best. I was just focusing on myself, running through my dives. And it's hard because once you hit like 3 dives, it's like, oh, like I have 3 more. I have to hit 3 more. So that's what happened to me. I got through my first 3 dives and I was like, oh, this like might go well. And then I didn't want to get my hopes up too because, you know, you might come to the last dive and then not do well. I had a feeling I did well. I didn't know if I broke the record, and we dove before the swimmers were swimming, so I went to the locker room and I changed into like my warm-ups, and I was just ready to cheer on my teammates because they were about to swim. They had a whole meet ahead of them, and I just saw like my 3 coaches, my dive coach and the 2 swim coaches, and they had the papers in their hands, and I like was walking towards them and then they all just looked at me and I was like, what? And then I walked over and we did 1 meter twice. So the first time I dove the 6 dives, I scored 264 and the record is 265. The second time I scored 272. So I walked over and he showed me the first paper and he was like 264 and I was like, oh, it's so close. And then like they all started laughing and I was like, why are you guys laughing? And then he showed me the second paper and I was like, I didn't just like get it, like I got it by like 7 points. So that was really exciting and I was just super happy, like didn't really know what to think. And the NCAA zone cut is 265 exactly, and I got 265.25 like in the fall, but just getting 7 points over it this time was really ecstatic. I was so happy. Champs is next week. It's in Worcester, Mass. It's at WPI, Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and it starts Thursday morning, and I dive 1 meter on Thursday and then 3 meter on Friday. And I'm glad because 1 meter right now is my focus, just because I'm better at it than 3 meter. So I can just do that, get it out of my head, and then have fun kind of on 3 meter. Still have fun on 1 meter, but you know, it's more of like my zone.
Hi, this is Mike Toole of ClearPoint Capital, and welcome to the Black Bear Money Minute. Today we're here to talk about two types of individual retirement accounts, traditional and Roth. First of all, with a traditional, there's a $6,000 annual contribution limit. If you're over 50, you can contribute an extra $1,000. Your contributions are tax deductible, the growth is tax deferred, but when you go to take the money out, it's taxable at ordinary income tax rates. Eventually, you're going to be subject to an RMD, or required minimum distribution, when you reach the age of 70 and a half. With a Roth, they have the same contribution limits, but you don't get a tax deduction when you put money into it, but when you go to take money out, it's tax-free. And there's no required minimum distribution. What's the right strategy for you? Let us help you figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited about the class that we were able to finish up here. Obviously, we had the earlier signing period. We signed 10 student athletes during that period and signed 17 today. So it's definitely an exciting time. We have some new members of the family, freshmen. We have a couple transfers, 6 different states. We have 5 main student athletes that are joining us today. So it's an exciting time, and we'll have a little bit more work to do afterwards, as we get deeper into the spring. But for now, it's a pretty extensive class. We signed 27 total throughout the signing period, so very pleased with the work of the staff. And then our current players, when those guys were on campus. We've always believed that when we get guys on campus, our success rate is really, really high. So it's a credit to their families and these young men that we have coming up, and we think they're going to be great assets, and it's great opportunities for our program and then them as well to join the Black Bear family. So it's an exciting day for everybody, and we're just happy to be moving forward here now, and now we get an opportunity to move forward to develop our players and be on campus, and those guys will be up this summer, so it's exciting overall.
Welcome to another episode of Den Hunters, presented by the official home team of the Black Bears. Let's watch as Coach Amy Vachon helps Bananas find a new home.
When I bought my house, I used the official home team of the Black Bears, Emily Ellis and Harvey Goslin. Let's go see Emily.
Hi, Bananas. I'm Emily Ellis. I'm excited to work with you. We're going to be shooting for your goals. I have a few places to show you today. This one's a bit of a fixer-upper, but it's got a lot of charm and newly redone hardwood floors.
It's better, but it could still use some work.
But it's got some sweet history.
You want to look for something newer?
I've got another place I think you'll like. It's newer construction with high-end amenities and an open floor plan.
Wait a minute, Bananas. This is our house.
Hey, Bananas. I know the perfect home for you. He's home.
If real estate is your game, call the Big M, Emily Ellis, the official home team of the Black Bears.
And tell us Bananas sent you.
I think expectations are high, at least from my standpoint. I mean, obviously, we didn't have a very good year last year. We've had a great fall. We worked on a lot of things, playing-wise, team-wise, culture-wise. We hired an outside source to help us with our strength and conditioning, speed and agility. The progress that we've made this fall, I would say probably equals any fall that we've had since I've been the head coach. So from my standpoint, our expectations are going to be very high.